Okay, the problem says Theater A has 3,460 seats. Theater B has 290 fewer seats than Theater A. What is the total number of seats in both theaters? So, of course, this is a word problem. And the first thing that you should do with a word problem is always underline your question. So, our question is saying, what is the total number of seats in both theaters? So, we have a couple of keywords in our question. We have total, and we also have both. So we know that total is going to mean that we are going to add something. So you can put a plus sign because that means that you're going to add something. What you're going to add is both theaters. Okay? So when we're doing our comparison bar model, we have two theaters. We have Theater A and Theater B. So that means that we're going to have two separate bars. So Theater A will have a bar, and then Theater B will also have a bar. Now, the reason why I did not draw a bar for Theater B is because we know that Theater B has 290 fewer seats than A, but we don't know exactly what number goes inside of the box for Theater B. So what I could do is go ahead and draw a shorter bar for Theater B, because we know that it says fewer, which means that it's going to be smaller or less than Theater A. So Theater A, we do actually have a number that we can put in this bar, and that would be 3,460. But since we do not know exactly how much goes into the bar for Theater B, we cannot put anything in there. So for right now, we need to figure out how much goes inside of Theater B. We do know that it has 290 fewer seats. So one strategy that you can do is you can actually make an invisible box, and you can put 290 right there. And since you know that it's 290 fewer, if it would help, you could even put a subtraction symbol right there in front of it. So that way you know that you need to subtract both of these numbers. So we're going to go ahead and subtract both of those numbers really quickly. So this is our subtraction problem, so that we can figure out how many seats Theater B has, because we need to figure this part out before we can even find the total number of both of them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do our subtracting. So 0 minus 0 is 0, and we cannot take 9 away from 6. So here's the regrouping. So we're going to have to take one of these hundreds away and add 10 tens, which turns the 6 into a 16. So now 16 minus 9 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. And we'll just bring down this 3. So now we have 3,170. This is not the total number of seats. This is the seats for Theater B. Okay, so if you want to, you can write B next to it, so that way you can know. So are we finished with our word problem? No, we're not, because this is a two-step problem. And so now that we know how many seats Theater B has, we can go ahead and plug that into our bar model. So I'm going to draw a second one. And we now know how much is in Theater B, which is 3,170. Now we can figure out what the total number is. The total is like the whole. So we can put total or whole. Okay? So now we can figure out the total or whole. So the total number of seats in both theaters, which means that we're going to put these two numbers together. We're going to add them. And we have our little plus sign right there also to help us remember. So I'm going to go ahead and add both of these numbers together. Okay, so 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 7 is 13. 1 plus 4 plus 1 is 6. And 3 plus 3 is 6. So our answer, the total number of seats in both theaters, is 6,630. The end.